Welcome back Explorers, I'm Alistair from the Highland Hikers and this is my Osprey Talon Pro 30 litre rucksack, which we're going to have a wee look at today. We'll go over its key features and we'll talk about things that I quite like about it and a couple of things that I think it could do a wee bit better. So I've had this rucksack for just over a year now and it's had a lot of use across Scotland. Has done a really good job of getting me around quite a few Munros and some really long hikes. So this is the 30 litre version. It also comes in a 20 litre version, but it's only in the one colour, so it's this kind of grey. It's got some red accents on it as well, and the kind of what you're expecting from an Osprey Talon rucksack with that kind of design on it as well. I've been scrambling with this when we went up to the Isle of Rum. There was a lot of kind of scrambling on a few of the peaks up there, so this was really good. It never got in the way, it never felt cumbersome at all, given that it's a good bit bigger than what I had before. So another really kind of good bit about the rucksack. So we have a single main pocket that stretches the full length of the rucksack, accessible from zips at the top here. So it doesn't have the traditional kind of lid that a lot of the Osprey range have. This is just a single point of access, so I appreciate that the ones with a lid maybe give you that wee bit extra layer of waterproofing if you like, but generally I have everything in waterproof bags inside the rucksack anyway, so I have, it has been out in the rain and I can't say anything inside has gotten drenched. It hasn't been like out in 8 hours of rain, but it certainly has kept everything dry within there. We've got two side pockets on either side here. They are very deep and very useful. There are some drawstrings here just to kind of tighten onto whatever you're putting in there. They are elasticated at the top as well, just to keep things snug in there. So I generally use walking poles in these pockets. Also kind of got a drawstring further up, which you can loosen and tighten, and that again just helps tighten my walking poles onto the side of the rucksack. Also maybe keep extra water in there, or if it's in the winter, maybe have a wee flask of tea in there just as a nice wee Brucey bonus for when you get to the top of Munro. So we have some hip belt pockets as well on both sides here. They are a really good size, they're quite deep, and I like the material that's on the outside as well. Again, it helps keep the rain off. Some of them have a more meshy material, which I don't feel gives your whatever items in there much protection from the rain. So I mean, if you are out and it's going to be bucketing down, then maybe this isn't the best place to keep your valuables or your electronics. But on dry days, they are very useful. I generally have my mobile phone in one and I have my GoPro in the other, so that I've got quick access to it for filming if something catches my eye when I'm out and about. Other thing we've got here, there are pockets on the shoulder straps here. These can be clipped closed, like so, on both sides, and they're expandable as well, so there is a wee bit of space in there. There's not a huge amount of space, which I'll kind of come back to later on as well. We have some loops on the shoulder straps as well if you want to hang stuff. It's also kind of handy. I've got my water reservoir tube. It goes down the back there and it kind of keeps it snug onto the rucksack, or onto the shoulder strap, just to keep it out of the way. One of the other main features of this one is the AirScape back panel. So it has some nice big rubber sections in here, and they're the bits that touch your back, and the rest in between, there's big massive gaps there just to kind of soak all that hot air away from, when you're out hiking, you're going to be sweating, you're going to be hot, and it just helps to kind of give you a bit more ventilation there. I can honestly say, since having this, I have never had a sweaty back. I used to get that with the Talon 18 litre. It was quite uncomfortable, but with this, I've never had that again, and it's something that I really benefit from. It also has a height adjustable back panel as well. There are various ones. I think I've pretty much got this almost at the top, and again, I find this adds to the comfort level of the rucksack considerably. So for perspective, I'm just over 6 foot in height, probably have a fairly long torso, so I appreciate having that extra bit of space just to make that a wee bit taller and more comfortable over your back. On the front here we have a nice big quick access stretch pocket there for dumping maybe some wet clothes in there. If you maybe take your waterproof trousers off, you can fire them in there, or a fleece, just stick it straight in there. Nice wee clip there as well, it's adjustable. There is a wee loop to attach a bicycle helmet onto the backpack, and there's a wee bit down here as well if you're wanting to put on a light as well, just to make you a wee bit more visible at night. The lid has a nice big access bit in here. I generally try and keep my food in the top part there, makes it nice and easy to access, although I wouldn't recommend storing anything that would melt in there, because on a warm day that bit heats up considerably and it's got rather messy in the past. The rucksack has 2 ice axe holders and loops at the bottom here, plus a wee bit at the top here just for tightening that up for you. And last but not least, we have an external access to your hydration reservoir and a wee loop in there just to kind of keep it from falling all the way down to the bottom in there. So I use a 5 litre reservoir and that fits it comfortably. So the main things I love about this backpack is the space that you get from it. It's 30 litres, you've got a good bit more than, you know, what you'd maybe go in if you're entry level kind of stuff. But I get plenty in here. I've got waterproof trousers, waterproof jacket in the bottom. In the winter I'll have an extra whole layer of clothing, extra trousers, hat, gloves, scarf, the works in there as well. Plus I also have my drone, which take on every Monroe or every hike, just in case, even depending on the weather, and it fits in there. Also got another wee bag which we generally put in camera accessories, batteries, wireless mics, things like that as well fit in there. And then most importantly, you've got your grub and your first aid as well in here, so you can get a nice decent sized lunchbox in there on top of all that as well. So it is really handy for getting around a good long day, and certainly a better size for me personally, over something that's about 18-20 litres in size. The other thing, the main benefit I love is just the height of adjustable back panel. It is an absolute brilliant thing I find for myself. Like I mentioned, I have a long torso, so I want something that's going to be a wee bit more comfortable in the back and not give me any kind of back pain or anything like that. And the shoulder straps coming over at a really decent height, so having that adjustable back panel is fantastic. I find the backpack overall to be very comfortable when wearing it, round with the hip belt straps, the contoured backpack and the shoulder straps. It all kind of comes together to make it very snug and comfortable on your back. I have never found it awkward, I never find it gets in the way. Lastly, I love the size of these side pockets. They are absolutely massive. You can get tons in there. Like I said, I have walking poles and generally put a flask in that side, but also got sunglasses and their protective case, suntan lotion. They generally fit an absolute ton in these side pockets, and I find them extremely useful. So the main disadvantages, I would say, are they've got these pockets on the shoulder straps here. Now, for some reason, these never stay closed for me. So I can clip that over, but that'll pop open within a few minutes on a hike, and it gets a wee bit annoying. So these kind of stay open pretty much all the time for me. The pockets themselves aren't the biggest. You're not going to get a lot in there. If you've maybe got a normal to large size mobile phone, that's not fitting in there, even with the extra stretch on it. I think they could be a wee bit better, but I am having to be a wee bit nitpicky with that. The other thing which I'm not a fan of, and it's a thing that the backpack is missing, is the store on the go for your walking poles loops. It doesn't have them, and whilst I love strapping the poles to the side of the backpack, it gets them right out of the way. I love that feature, but there are times when I'm out in the mountain and I'm like, I just want to put these away for a couple of minutes whilst maybe do a bit of scrambling or just whatever, for whatever reason, and it doesn't have that, and that is a kind of a thing that I find lacking in it. It could really benefit from having that. So overall, I do really like this backpack. It is absolutely fantastic for everything that I need for taking out on the mountain. I have all that space in there to take all my gear. I love the material on it. It is a nice design on it. I just wish it would be a wee bit more colourful or have a couple more colour options. I like something that's very bright and something that you're going to be able to be seen from a distance just in case of emergencies, and this doesn't obviously give you that. It does have nice wee red accents, but again, it could be better with the colour. But overall, I love all the pockets, all the access to it, and especially love the comfort levels when this is on my back. It just absolutely snug as a bug in a rug, if you like, and it doesn't make me too hot either. It's nice and cool, and it gets me round mountains and round long walks very easily. So if you're thinking about upgrading your backpack, then certainly take a look at the Osprey Talon Pro. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at the backpack here. If you have, consider subscribing to the channel and have a wee look at our hiking videos where you will see this in action round Scotland. It has been all over the place and it has been well worth the investment in it. So if you have enjoyed this, give us a wee thumbs up and we shall see you on another hike.